Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Chantel and I like to make videos about family travel. My family and I live in Misawa, Japan, and we'll be here for a total of 3 years. We are actually coming up on our first year here, which sounds pretty freaking crazy because time flies so freaking fast, but nevertheless, it's gonna be a year. If you are interested in seeing our journey in Japan and seeing how we enjoy and discover the culture and devour the food and take trips, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. And I'm gonna thank you in advance for being a future subscriber. Before I get into the meat of this video, I do have a few announcements. First things first is I want to thank you guys for being patient with me as I took that little hiatus last month. I do really appreciate you guys' patience. June is such a busy month for my family and I. I know everybody was celebrating Juneteenth. Happy belated Juneteenth. And I know you guys were celebrating Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day to all my dads out there. But for my family, we were also celebrating Lou's birthday and Kylie's birthday. So the day after Juneteenth and Father's Day was Lou's birthday. And then last week, Wednesday, June 29th, was Kylie's birthday. So June is really hectic for this family. That's why I took that little hiatus. And I actually didn't realize I needed that time until it smacked me in the face. So thank you again for your patience. The next announcement that I have is that in the beginning of June, I hit 100 subscribers. So I do want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. I don't know what it is that keeps y'all coming back, but I truly appreciate you guys. I'm so glad that the videos that I'm putting out are inspirational or they're helpful in some kind of way. And I really want to continue to grow this channel. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. And this actually brings me into my next point. So I really want to give back to you guys because y'all show me so much support. When you guys watch my videos, subscribe, leave your comments, share my videos, that's supporting me. And so I would like to choose one subscriber and I'm going to send you a gift box. The box will include coffees, matcha, souvenirs from certain places we've been, and just a whole bunch of other knickknacks that I found in Japan that I think you may like. I am aware that some of my subscribers are already here in Japan. If you are here in Misawa and you are chosen, then I will treat you to brunch. So that is the gift I am giving on to you guys. I'm still working out the kinks and the details. If you're not already following me on Instagram, I would suggest that you go follow me because once I work out the kinks and figure out the details, I'm going to post it on Instagram. And most likely that's going to be before my next video. That's all the announcements that I have for you guys today. Again, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for subscribing, and let's continue to grow this channel. I know you guys saw the title of this video, and like I said earlier in the video, June is a hectic month for us. However, we did something just about every week and I was able to capture parts of those things. So I am going to be adding clips into this video of the little things that I'm talking about here. I also want to put out a disclaimer. I cannot pronounce some of these names. So regardless if I pronounce it or not, the names for everything that I'm talking about will be at the bottom of the screen. So that way you can have the correct spelling just in case you want to look into it. In the beginning of June, we did an ITT trip, which was the first one we went on. The first thing I noticed is that you get an itinerary the day you pay for the tour. I really like that because with our ODR tours that we've done in the past, they send you out the itinerary through email a few days before your trip, and that's caused problems for us. But I really enjoyed that. And then while you're paying, you're also going to pick out your seats for the bus. Those are the key differences that I noticed when it came to ITT versus ODR tours. The tour that we did was called the Hirizami tour. So the first part of the tour is checking out this place called the Golden Hall. So basically the family that ruled during that period created this temple, and the temple is made out of gold. So we got to see that. We got to learn about that period and kind of what took place. We checked out a museum and it was a bunch of temples and shrines, and that was pretty cool. We stayed there for a few hours. We ate lunch there. After that, we went to this gorge and we rode a boat. To be honest, that was the reason I chose this tour, is because I wanted to be on the boat ride. And it was magical. The boat ride was magical. As we're going down the gorge, we're seeing all these beautiful sceneries. We get to feed the fish. and the gentleman that's actually steering the boat gives us a chance to steer the boat if we would like to, and of course I wanted to. And so we were able to do that. As we're going down the gorge, there was this box, and you throw coins at it. If you hit the box, then it makes this beautiful noise. So it's like a music box almost. And Lou actually was able to hit the box, and that was pretty cool. We finally made it to our final destination, which was the lion's snout, which is basically a sediment of rocks that is shaped like a lion's nose. And when you get there, you can buy these lucky stones. Got 3 for 100 yen, and you try to throw the stone into this hole that's under the snout. And it was hard. But Lou made it, and this other guy made it. And so when you make it, you get a certificate, and you also get bragging rights, of course. So that was one of the first experiences that we did in June, and it basically paved the way for the rest of the cool experiences that we had that month, it seemed like. Next adventure that we had, which was also in the beginning of June, is honestly one that I still can't believe I did. If you guys have watched the video labeled Baba Rock and you watched it all the way to the end, then you know that I could not climb all the way up that rock because I kind of had an anxiety attack almost about like the height. I didn't even know I was afraid of heights. Like that kind of just came out of nowhere. And at the end of the video, I vowed to work through my fear of heights so that I can enjoy the rest of Japan. So my husband's command did a mountain hike last month. We hiked Mount Iwaki, and I honestly had no faith that I would make it to the top based off of that experience. And I didn't really get as much hiking in as I would have liked prior to hiking that mountain. But I did do it, and I did make it to the top, so I am definitely proud of myself. However, I thought making it to the top would make me feel fearless and make me feel like, hey, I did it, I can do this again 20 more times and be okay, and I love it, and it was great. And it really wasn't like that. Getting to the top was hard. It's very rocky. And the higher up you go, it just gets a lot steeper with a lot more rocks. It's almost like boulders at some point. Like that's what I feel like I was climbing over. And I'm going to put clips in here so you could kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about. In the beginning, it wasn't bad because we had trees on my right, trees on my left. So, you know, if I fell, I'm falling on a branch, or I'm falling, you know, there was something to catch my fall. I saw nothing but rocks and clouds the higher up I got. And when you get higher, the rocks are less stable. The fear for me was coming down. Like I was already this high up the mountain. For me, it was like, we might as well make it to the top because I don't know how I'm gonna get down. Maybe I have enough food and water to last me through the night, and then Lou's gonna have to send a helicopter because I'm not coming down. That's really how I felt going up. And I did cry going up. Kylie didn't see any of that, by the way. Since we went with Lou's command, she was up ahead with another family. When I actually got to the top, I didn't feel relieved. I felt lightheaded. I felt nervous. I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't be in the moment with everybody else. I was kind of like stuck on a rock. People were asking me to take pictures, but I was so scared to get up because I couldn't fathom getting up. It was so hard, so difficult. I was trying not to cry. I was trying to be brave. I was trying to put on a good face for Kylie, but honestly, I was scared out of my mind. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but at the top it's still rocky. It's not flat, which I thought it would be. So I kind of just sat on a rock and I just wanted to stay there. Coming down was a lot harder than going up. What I had to do was I had to sit on the rock and like scoot down the rock, which took us a lot longer to get down than it did to come up, but that's what I had to do to get down. So I am proud of myself because I didn't get over this fear, and I don't know that I will ever get over the fear because there's true danger in climbing a mountain. There is, and I can recognize it. I can understand that. But I am happy that I didn't let my fear stop me from climbing the mountain. So I am going to pat myself on the back for that. I am proud of myself. After that, we went to ROCCA-POCCA, and I did mention ROCCA-POCCA in the video I was just talking about, so I'm not going to go into too much details about like what it is or what you can find there, because I have a whole video clip about that. But I will say we did the private onsen, and they do have a private onsen and a public onsen. So if you do go to ROCCA-POCCA and you just plan to do the public onsen, you're probably good to go. But if you do want a private onsen, I would suggest that you reserve it prior to going. We didn't do that, so we had to wait a few hours before a room became available. And we just waited because at that point we felt like our bones was broken and we just needed to like submerge them in steaming hot water. So I would suggest that you call ahead. I will leave the number in the description box. If my memory serves me correct, the minimum amount of time you can stay there is 2 hours, and we did the minimum, and that was about 3,000 to 4,000 yen. But during that month, there was a special going on, so don't quote me on the price. As soon as you get in the room, there's a table there, and then you have seats, like chairs that's on the floor. You have a TV, and then the further back you go, you have the bathroom and then the onsen. The room that we was in, the onsen was pretty small, and we're a family of 3. We were able to fit into the onsen altogether, but if you are a family of 6 or 5, then you guys might have to take turns if the rooms are standard across the board. I'm not sure if like you have a bigger party, if the onsens are bigger or not, but it's doable because you have your own private room. You can also order food to the room or order it at the restaurants and have them bring it to the room, which is basically what we did. And it was really relaxing. Even though being in the onsen was nice and it was relaxing, I can't necessarily say that it helped with soreness in any way, shape, or form, because I was sore for 3 days after the hike. It may work for some people, but that was my experience. Mid-month, we got invited to a barbecue in the garden, and literally, I mean a barbecue in the garden. And the garden was stunning. It was amazing, and the food was delicious. We got invited by our Japanese friends and their family. So it was our family, another family, and their family. In the middle of everything, the laughter, the drinking, the talking, I was kind of called to the back. When I went back there, I was met by 4 Japanese ladies. There were racks of komodos, and they asked me if I wanted to dress in the komodo. And of course, I said yes. So they did my hair. So she tried to put my hair up, and I could tell this lady was struggling, and she probably ain't never touched locks before. So she was like, I don't know what to do, but they managed. And I had like 2 wig pieces in the front, and I had beautiful hair accessories in my hair. And they put the komodo on me, and they put the wraps around me. While I was sitting down, they put the socks on me and the sandals, and then they did Kylie. They presented us to Lou, and then we went out to the garden and we took some pictures, and it was a really, really beautiful experience. I'm sure I have mentioned this at some point in a video on my channel, but I am 5'9.5", and I am a curvy woman. When I think of traditional Japanese dressing, I automatically assume it's not going to fit me. And I'm not gonna lie, they did have to pin certain places that were opening up, you know, around the thigh area, but ultimately they made it work. And I looked beautiful and I felt beautiful. If you're anything like me and you kind of just marked komodos off your list of things that you would like to try here, I would suggest that you go for it. There's a lot of places here in Japan where you could rent the traditional Japanese dressing, women and men, and take pictures or go out into the town and have that experience. So I would highly suggest that you don't completely do away with the idea. I think you will be pleasantly surprised on what's available. So I would suggest trying it. I'm very grateful to have Japanese friends that are willing to show me their culture and share their culture with me and dress me and Kylie in their traditional dressings, and it was an experience that I won't ever get anywhere else. So I'm truly grateful for them and that family, and I look forward to expanding on our friendship. The next adventure that we took as a family was actually a surprise for Lou's birthday. He's been talking about how he wants to camp and he wants to have that experience. That's what we did, but instead of tents, we had a cabin. So we went glamping. I had been watching the weather throughout the week, and I knew it was going to be raining on and off that day. So I had rented a canopy, we rented Jenga, and I rented badminton from ODR, and for the weekend they charged me about $53, and I just thought that was a steal. So if you guys are ever in need of rental gear, definitely check out ODR because they have a bunch of things for rent and it's in good condition. But anyway, back to the story. So I got the cabin. Inside the cabin there's a mini fridge, there's a stove, there are 4 bunk beds, there's a bathroom, shower, and a table. But the best part for me was the view. The view of this cabin was just so stunning. The worst part of the cabin was the beds. They had these mats that were really a comforter, so you was really just sleeping on the hardwood. If you do decide to rent the cabin, bring your own air mattress because you're gonna have a hard time sleeping. Other than that, it was beautiful. We sat out there, we had a fire pit, we had music going, we had drinks, we talked, we laughed, we played. It was such a beautiful and relaxing experience. If you're interested in camping at this lake, you should know that you could either rent a cabin or you could bring your tents and reserve space to camp out in your tents. For a day, which is what we spent at the cabin, I paid 11,000 yen. I'm not sure how much it is if you just camp out in a tent, but I will check and I will add the prices in the description box. If you do plan to make any reservations, if you don't speak Japanese, I would suggest that you go down to the office and make the reservation in person. Maybe have a friend or a colleague translate for you or help translate. That's what I had to do. When you do book the cabin or reserve a spot for your tent, you will have to pay cash, and you pay cash the day of your reservation. I would highly suggest that you guys check this place out. It's about 15 to 20 minutes off base, give or take. But that was that experience. Last and final experience that we had in June was a tour that we took with ODR called Seaside and Yoga. We had to be on the bus at 5:30 in the morning, and yoga started, I believe, at 7 sharp. It was kind of in this field, and it was us and a whole bunch of other women and men doing yoga as well. There was a Japanese instructor who was at the front. The scenery was relaxing, but to be honest, the yoga was not. I've only ever done yoga one time in my life, and I was pregnant and it was hard. I think the idea of it was nice, and I truly think it can be relaxing, but it just wasn't relaxing for me because I didn't know what I was doing, truly. So I couldn't relax because I'm trying to keep up with everybody. And when I was in a pose, I couldn't fully be in that pose and be relaxed in that pose because I'm breaking my neck to see if we're still in this pose or if we were supposed to be in the next pose, you know? So for that reason, I didn't find it relaxing, but I did have fun. I did enjoy the experience. She was done. She was just like, it's hot and I'm just gonna lay here and I'm not finna do this. And it was hot, I'm not gonna lie, it was a hot day. I appreciated that she tried, and she's done yoga before because they actually do it in school. So she knew the poses and knew what to do. But after a while, she was over it. After that, we went to Hershino's to eat breakfast, which is my favorite breakfast place out here. They have French toast, they have pancakes, they have a breakfast set, and the food is just really, really good. But beware, the menu does change. So if you guys decide to try it, by the time you get there, they might not have the French toast, or they might not have the breakfast set. During breakfast, the tour guide, AT, was like, hey, do you guys have anything to do later today? Because he was offering to take us to 3 extra places. And this is exactly why I like the ODR tours. Mainly, I like the tour guide, AT, because he tends to make extra stops or, you know, show you gems that you didn't know were there, and it's not necessarily on the itinerary. So I really appreciate that. One of the group members had something to do later that day, so we only actually went to one spot, which was Samurai Beach. And it was pretty much a good place to get pictures. So I would definitely recommend that you guys check out the ODR tours, because honestly, you get more value than what you pay for with those tours. So it's definitely worth it. So that concludes the experiences that we had for the month of June. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and expect to see me more often. Again, thank you guys for being patient with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.